Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, I wanted to talk about something that earlier on in this season we were talking about all the time, but as of late, for whatever reason, it just kind of fell through the cracks. I just had so many other videos to make and so many other things to talk about, especially once LEC and LCS both started up and all the drama and all the craziness and TSM and LS and all this stuff started happening. I just kind of forgot about it for a little while, but this is KCORP and Rekkles, a player in a team that we were following a ton at the beginning of the season, and I thought was really fun, but also important and interesting to cover because obviously Rekkles is very popular, and LEC fans and even LCS fans care about him and want to know what's going on with him and like to hear about him, and those videos all did really, really well, but he plays in the ERLs, he plays in the LFL, not everyone follows the LFL, there's so many games when you're watching LEC, LCS, all this stuff, it's impossible to follow it all, so I think people really appreciated some of those update videos. So in this video today, I wanted to go over what's been going on with Rekkles, where's he at, where's KCORP at, giving you guys everything you need to know. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate it a ton. The likes, they always help, they make the videos perform better, and subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. We've been getting a solid amount of subscribers lately. It's been going pretty well. The percentage of people who aren't subscribed that are watching videos has been going down, so thank you guys so much. With that being said, let's get right into this. So here I have pulled up the LFL regular season page. Let me show this to you guys. So here we are with the LFL Spring 2022. We ended up here with KCORP finishing 12-6. Now, I think the last Rekkles video I made, this was like when Rekkles got that pentakill. KCORP had a really rough start to the season. They had like a losing streak. They weren't doing so good. They were out of the playoffs for a little while. Then Rekkles gets his pentakill, and things seemed like they were starting to turn around. It seemed like KCORP had maybe turned a corner and were starting to figure things out. And that was absolutely the case. KCORP, kind of just flung up from the lower half of the standings all the way up to second. They ended up tying with Team BDS Academy and just finishing a game behind LDLC. So overall this was pretty good. 67% win rate, 12-6. I'm sure they would have liked better. Obviously they'd like to finish first, especially when they have guys like Rekkles on their team. They just wanted to finish a little bit higher. Obviously Cabo Shard as well. As a guy who's not really trying to not win a ERL league, let alone European Masters. But this is how the regular season ended. Overall, the stats for Rekkles, he was heralded as the best AD carry in all of the ERLs, and that's obviously not shocking. It's not surprising. This guy won an LEC MVP just last season. I don't think he got kicked from G2 for being bad, and I don't think he ended up without an LEC spot because he's bad. That's just kind of how things worked out, and G2 was in a position where they needed to move on from him because things just didn't work, not because Rekkles wasn't good enough. And I know that Wooloo and Alejandro had put out a list recently where they talked to a bunch of GMs and scouts and teams and stuff, and they did have Rekkles rated as the #1 ERL AD carry. So his stats from the regular season were pretty just like vintage Rekkles stats. He ended up with the third most kills of any AD carry in the LFL. As far as deaths, he had the he had the least deaths. I was going to say the only guy that died less than him was Zekor, but he only played in 8 games. So, Rekkles ended up with third most kills, least deaths. I think he was towards the top in assists as well, and then, this is just a Rekkles stat. Rekkles is the ultimate KDA player. I don't mean that as a bad thing, but some people will use that as a bad thing. 7.1 KDA. Definitely some of his stats are pretty lackluster. Like kill participation, he's bottom, towards the bottom of the league. Now, kill participation for an 80 carry I don't think matters that much overall. His death percentage was towards the bottom. He's not really going to be the guy that's going to cost you a game by getting caught out, some random stupid death. He's going to be there for you in the late game fights. He's going to try and, bring home the game for your team. Overall, his landing stats were pretty good. 4th highest gold differential at 10 for every AD carry. He had the #1 XP differential at 10, and he had the 3rd highest CSD at 10, which is all really, really good. Obviously, CS per minute, he is 3rd in the league there, which is obviously really, really good. But damage per minute towards the bottom. Now, obviously, this can be champion pool related. This can be how your team allocates resources and gold, because overall, I don't think he was getting, we have the gold percentage here. He wasn't getting a ton of the team's gold. He's getting 27% of the team's gold, and that's towards the bottom for AD carries. It's not like they're putting a ton of resources. They're not funneling all their gold into Rekkles. So the fact that he had, lower DPM, I don't think is largely concerning, but it's not like he was just smashing as an AD carry. It's not like he was just putting up crazy damage games and single-handedly carrying. He was playing that Rekkles style, that kind of facilitative, supportive AD carry, that kind of stuff where, hey, he's going to play probably a little bit safer than a little bit more aggressive, but he's always going to be there. He's going to be reliable. He's going to pick up those big kills. He's going to be getting the pentakills in the late game fights. He's going to be winning you games. And I mean, that's what KCORP did. They won games. But if you're wondering how, the regular season went for Rekkles, there you go. I don't think any of this is too surprising. This is what we've always seen Rekkles do. I'm a little bit disappointed by the damage per minute, because even in the LEC, when he would have high KDA, he would usually be doing pretty dang solid DPM as well. So, that's probably the most concerning stat to me. But at the end of the day, stats are just stats. But then we get into the playoffs, and the playoffs have started for the LFL. We have the spring playoffs here, and KCORP had their first matchup against LDLC, the number one team in the league. This was number one against number two. Playoffs are double elimination, and they got smashed 3-0 for LDLC over KCORP. Game 1, you see here, 113 goes 0-4, Honterra goes 0-4, Cabochard gets all 3 of KCORP's kills, but it wasn't enough. Rekkles going 0-1-2. I don't know. Obviously, KCORP has a lot of young, inexperienced players, guys like 113. Saken didn't really do much of anything in this game. He kind of goes 0-1. You'll see LDLC does have Aka, the mid laner for, I think it was Immortals or whatever in the LCS, who wasn't very good. So it kind of shows you the level and quality of the teams and the players in the LFL. It's one of the better ERLs, but hey, ERL players, it's different than LEC. It's different than LCS. These guys are here for a reason. I know there's always people that are like, oh, KCORP could have made playoffs in the LEC, or oh, KCORP could have made it to Worlds in the LEC, blah, blah, blah. Like, hold up. ERLs are ERLs. LEC is the LEC. Aka, a guy who really, really struggled in the LCS, who people would say is weaker than the LEC, now he's smashing the LFL. Just kind of keep that in mind. We do have game 2 of the series here. Same type of stuff. 113 goes 1-6-5. Honterra goes 1-7-2. Cabochard 2-3-2 on the Jace. Rekkles 0-1-3 on the Ezreal. Saken 3-4-2. But again, Aka 11-1-5. Just absolutely smashing. And then game 3 with KCORP down 2-0. Their backs up against the wall. 113 pulls out a 2-8. Honterra goes 1-4. Rekkles finally gets a couple kills. He goes 2-2. Cabochard goes 5-6. And it just wasn't enough. I think Rekkles played fine. He just kind of existed when his team was getting smashed. It's really hard for AD carries to do much of anything. I think Cabochard played out of his mind for how bad KCORP is doing as a team. But yes, they got smashed 3-0, and now their next matchup is against BDS Academy to see what is going to happen. Obviously, I thought I clicked on the summer playoffs, but we can see here that top 2 get places in the EU Masters spring main event, and 3rd and 4th place have to go to the spring play-in. So this matchup between KCORP and BDS Academy, who's a good team. They have Crown Shot. They have Aggressivu. They have Zico. These are players that are well known in the LEC and European Regional League scenes. This will not be an easy matchup for KCORP. If Honterra in 113 and even Saken play how they did against LDLC, KCORP could lose this series. KCORP could be sent to the EU Master play-ins and have to fight their way out of that. It is possible that even with Cabochard and Rekkles and all the money spent on this team and this roster and how popular they are and how successful they're supposed to be coming off back-to-back EU Masters titles, it's possible this team could get sent to the play-ins and then maybe not even make it out of play-ins if they're playing at the level that they are right now. So this is going to be very, very interesting. This is on Wednesday, March 30th. KCORP is playing against BDS Academy, so they got a couple days to figure some things out. But Rekkles and KCORP are in kind of a rough spot right now. Their backs are up against the walls. They need to pull out a big win in this series here. Again, if they win this, they do qualify to the EU Masters main event. If they lose, they're going to the play-ins. And I can't imagine that's something that KCORP wants to do. And then obviously if they win, they will get this rematch against LDLC, who just smashed them, and I'm sure they want to get revenge. But that's where we're at right now. That is the latest with Rekkles and KCORP. It's going to be a big matchup on Wednesday. I'm probably going to try and watch this game if I can remember and I can actually, take a look at it and stuff. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. KCORP needs to pull out a win. Rekkles, see if he can pull off some playoff magic. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Let me drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Rekkles KCORP from this past season. Do you think they're going to make some improvements going into the summer? Do you think Rekkles should leave, stay? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.